Welcome back and or to the channel. Trucker Rod here with S.E.E. And today, if you could, we're really trying to get this channel over the 50 subscriber right now. If you could like the videos, pushes the algorithm, kind of just gets it shot rate out there a little more to a wider audience. And if you could subscribe, that's the key thing we're missing, is just a couple more subscribers. So really helps out the channel. And we are counting down 5 days until we are on the road to Dallas, Texas. My spouse and I just want to be able to go live and have discussions with y'all. We're going to be out there for a week, and that would really help us out. But either way, I will still bring content to you, but it's just was looking forward to that. Just got on the road today, and it's definitely been a busy weekend getting things done around the house, just so we can be geared up and ready to roll when I get back for that trip. So just got some housekeeping done and yard work. So how are you all doing? Really like to know, comment down below where you're from, what you're up to, your line of work, anything like that. If you just want to get a conversation going, like I said, it'll be a lot different once we can go live. In the last video, I had mentioned that we should talk about skill sets. Even if you never grew up with, I want to say, someone that has not been mechanically inclined, or a family, building trades, anything like that, where you just called, you went to a mechanic, you called in a plumber, electrician, someone to put a deck on your house. These are crucial things. And, the era that I grew up in, and I'm sure many of you had, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, if I wanted something or obtain something or get something done, I had to pretty much do it myself. And that was whether I was working on my bicycles, the motorcycle, snowmobile, to, as I got older, my own vehicle. I've had a few people in my life that kind of led me along the way, taught me a few things, and I'm thankful for them, and I've let them know. A few have passed away since that time. But I will say that if you can, if you own your own house, doing your own DIY or house maintenance, the big thing owning a house is just like a vehicle. You're gonna have ongoing house maintenance, and the last thing you want to do is just always be calling a contractor or handyman to come in and fixing everything. So therefore, it is well advised, at least by me, learn the skill to be able to do many of the little things. Hey, if you're, time wise, you can't knock out a wall, expand a room, put an addition on, we all get that. But if you're gonna refresh in a room and the drywall needs to be, touched up, stuff like that, I think that's things that people should learn and apply themselves. YouTube here, as this channel and many others on YouTube, they're there, and there's many people that show you the ins and outs of how to repair things in your home. And then it goes right down the line with your plumbing, your electrical, car repairs. So in many tools that I didn't have when I bought my house, my wife just said, hey, I'll budget money aside. What do you need? We priced out the tools that was going to be adequate to get, and we went and got them. And that's the thing, is when you invest in tools, they're gonna save you money, or they're gonna make you money, either fixing your own stuff and keeping yourself going without paying all the labor fees and handyman and contractors, or you're gonna be able to help a neighbor or friend or family. So I've been well vested in many tools. My strong point was always auto mechanic, so I've always been able to do all my own repairs. But going forward, as we got our house, I had to educate myself in learning other trades, whether it was drywall, plumbing, electrical. Let's see, what else? What was the one thing? Crown molding and baseboards and that, and doing like prism cuts and stuff, and being able to know how to use the fence on your miter saw and making the cuts. But that's one of the key things, is just ask questions to older people that have been around, that grew up in that time where they did all that stuff. And I found a few of those gentlemen at my local Home Depot that showed me some of the ins and outs. Same with auto mechanics. If I wasn't looking things up on YouTube, I was definitely looking people up. If it was outside of my scope, or I wasn't tooled up enough and I didn't want to go and invest the tools, because the key thing is knowing what tools that you know you're always going to be grabbing for when you're doing maintenance or home projects, and tools you'll probably be better off renting, because you may be a one and done time, and it wouldn't be worth going forward and putting that money into the tools, as far as owning them, using them once, and then sitting on them. So keep that in mind. But tools are always a good buy and a good investment, whether you can pick them up on the marketplace, garage sales, or look for a deal like I have. Harbor Freight, say what you want about them, but in the last, say, 6 years, they have stepped up their game and brought good quality line of tools into their arsenal, and they back them up. So therefore, I would say that's a good go-to. You know, sign up for their coupons and newsletters, and you know, see if there's something you may need, from toolboxes to hand tools and stuff. But I've invested even in my local hardware. I bought the whole master kit to go in and replace plumbing. So whether it's PEX lines or copper lines, I can splice and add fittings, elbows, and stuff like that, whether I got to swallow the lines or just crimp in for the PEX lines. Electrical, I don't get too crazy with it. I have run wires from my breaker down to the 220 to run my dryer. Outside of that, I don't get too much more in depth. You know, light switches, sockets, stuff like that, that's not bad. But if I got to run wiring for, you know, to rewire a whole nother room, that's where I would, you know, ask around. And you would be surprised how many guys will do that on the side when they're not working. But auto repairs, I do all that myself. You know, plus I have my detailing side. But keep that in mind, folks, that the value of learning how to do skilled trades like that, blue collar work, even if you're a person that grew up, say, an engineer, doctor, it is good to know that stuff. You will find how your self-esteem and your confidence in life when you really know your own stuff, your house, your vehicles, and what have you. So when you do hire a contractor, you have that confidence to carry that conversation with them, with the I don't want to say the jargon, but the talk. You know, if you know about plumbing, but hey, you're gonna hire someone to put in an in-ground sprinkler system, hey, at least you know what they're talking about. So that is something I think every homeowner and individual should know. We are getting in trying times in this economy, and not only that, but also whether it's male or female, you can be a female and still do all this stuff. And it goes to be said, you know, you can learn a lot of this stuff. Has been, you know, I have learned from mentors like my grandfather, my father, and my father-in-laws, and the same for women. They learn from their grandmother, mother, and mother-in-laws. You know, and there's, you know, on that side, you know, my wife knows about canning. You know, there's sewing, gardening, stuff like that. And like I said, that's just things that you really should know how to obtain to be self-sufficient. It is a hot day. It's hitting up around 89 degrees right now where I'm at. I'm in Jane Lou, West Virginia. Exit 105 off from I-79. I'm heading out to Elkins tomorrow morning. But had a great day. Hot, little humid, blue skies. So it's been a gorgeous day for me. Like I said, I did quite a bit around the house just to get things caught up, because I know I won't be able to get to any house chores until probably about the middle of May. So, and like I said, my neighbors, and the reason why I'm talking about the skill set, my neighbors, they look at me, other than my one neighbor, the rest of them look at me as like, how do you find time to do this, this, or this? And it's like, hey, I want nice things, and I want to keep my stuff continuing to be nice, so therefore, you know, I don't watch sports, follow sports, I don't sit down and watch TV. Things have to get done around the house. It's me, myself, and I to, you know, to get on it and get it done. And I usually give my wife a heads up when I get back and I get home, I'm gonna be, you know, going after this, and this to get these projects done, or we go out and run errands, because not only do we have dogs, but we got a bird sanctuary, so we keep that maintained and up, especially now the season. We can be out there more now that the snow and all that's gone. But skill sets will definitely give you a vote of confidence, especially when you can go in the hardware store and understand what the guy is trying to help you with if you're looking for something. I mean, I've rebuilt the outside spigot, repacking that, the inside spigots to turn the hot and cold water for the washer, the laundry. And instead of just going in and gutting all the plumbing out of the wall, I've just taken all the insides out and repacked it, you know, seals and Teflon seals and rubber seals, what have you. So those are things, many of things around your house you should know how to do and not be so codependent on, I want to say, a contractor, handyman, you know, business, or a family member or friend to, you know, take you by the hand, you know, when something's wrong with your house. I mean, you really should have everything right on hand to be able to always, through a storm, power outage, wind, you know, just be able to always, like I said, maintain, repair as things go forward. And you're gonna find yourself in a different mental mindset when you get more of that knowledge. And that's why I always finish up these videos with always continuing to educate yourself, because you never know enough. And it's definitely it's a trade that I think a lot of parents just over the last 2-3 decades have just said, well, I don't want my kids to go through what I went through. Well, what did you go through? Did you have to do, you know, your mom and dad on summer break had to, they gave you a chore list and you had to go out and do chores? Now you don't want your kids to do chores because you felt it was so awful? You know, I grew up on my mom's side, you know, they had a dairy farm. So between the farming, the agriculture, my dad's side was welding, fabricating, mechanic, heavy equipment, civil engineering. And I worked coming out of high school, and in the early years I worked for Parks and Rec in the county I lived in, and I worked for a farmer. And I wouldn't give that up for anything, because I really, a lot of the older gentlemen back when I was in my late teens and in my 20s, a lot of older gentlemen were really taking me by the hand and showing me, you know, because they knew I had the potential to learn things, whether it was trawling cement to, you know, hanging drywall and mudding and all that on drywall. So that's why I'm saying is, if you need an outlet or something to do when you're sitting home, if your work is slow or you've been laid off from your job start a business, be a handyman, you know, lawn business. I started detailing because I was already doing it before, so I just, you know, basically LLC'd it. But going forward, you know, educating myself on things I don't know nothing about, and I'm slowly learning it. It's taken me a couple of years. You know, it's not like you're gonna learn it overnight, but repetition and time working at it, you get better at it. And then, you know, so I feel I'm between an amateur and a novice on some things and a novice on most. Driving wise, like this, I've been doing this since I was, what, 18, 19. I can say I'm a professional truck driver. It comes natural for me. I didn't have to go to school. Again, I taught myself on how to drive a truck. I had a lot of gentlemen that were either frustrated with me because I was a young kid, thought he knew it all at times, and but I've matured into it. So, and I think many of you could do the same. Take your time, find resources. The internet gives you such an open book of toolage to learn so many things, to be able to do things on your own without being so codependent. So that was my spiel. I just see so many people that on Facebook and social media platforms, you know, do you know anyone that could do this, this, or this? You know, they're always asking for recommendations, or do you know anyone in the area? Nextdoor app was another one. Oh, I took that off my phone because it was just redundant and ridiculous on some of the most simplest things I've ever seen. So I think if people would, for the time they put in to post it, they could have probably understood, learned it, and went out and did it, you know, instead of posting it and waiting for a response and getting someone out there. So that's what I'm saying is, you know, let's stop being complacent and getting lazy on ourselves mentally and physically, and we all need to get motivated. And the thing of it is with this channel too, is we all need to work with each other, whether we're here on the channel watching these videos, but whether it's your neighbor, family, friend, lift each other up. Let's help each other, because that's the only way we're going to survive. I mean, you know, the government's definitely doing us dirty. So we need to lift each other up, help each other, give each other the mentorship or the understanding, so we can always, all of us, be moving forward in unison, instead of, you know, hey, just looking out for myself. You know, screw that person, and you know, hey, we all want to go together. This country, you know, has always been about United States. We're united, so let's unite and just help each other out there, and let's be less toxic and less condescending and gaslighting on each other, and help each other out, because there's so many things, and it's not just the skilled trades. There's so many other things that we all could be helping each other with, and giving good suggestions instead of being sarcastic, condescending, and all that. Not everyone knows everything, so you have to understand sometimes you may know a little bit more than the next person, so it's more helpful if you talk to them in a way that you would want to be talked to if you were ignorant in such a field. So keep that in mind. I'm going to follow up with you folks again here in a day or two. I got up at 1 o'clock this morning to hit the road. I've got a pretty big route this week because I'm off next week. So I got a lot of stops and a lot of area to cover this time through. So I'm going to catch back up with you folks. So stay safe out there. You know, the Iran and Israel stuff going on. We don't know where this pivotal point is going to go with everything and all the influx of immigrants in this country. What's going to take hold and light on fire here in the United States. So that's why I always say stay safe out there. Keep your head up, on the swivel when you're out, not on your phone. Continuing educating yourself. Knowledge is learned, not taught. Until next time, folks, see you in the next video.